All friends, Jagandar Rana here. So, taking up the topic today, non-standard settlement of insurance claims. Non-standard settlement of insurance claims. See, insurance is becoming a very lucrative business now. On one hand, the insurance companies are marketing their products in most aggressive manner, promising to indemnify the insured on the happening of a covered event. But when it comes to payment of a claim set up by the insured, there is a tendency to deprive the insured of the same by repudiating on one pretext or the other. So the Bombay High Court suggested that the Insurance Regulatory and Development Authority of India should empower the Insurance Ombudsman to levy compensatory or penal cost on insurance companies for repudiating insurance claims on flimsy grounds. So the IRDAI issued a circular to all insurance companies asking them not to reject claims on technical grounds like a delay in filing. The reason for such a direction by the insurance regulator, was to help retain the confidence of policyholders in insurance companies and to help lower the cases of excessive litigation. So IRDAI has also directed the insurance companies must ascertain whether the claims rejected would have been rejected even if it was reported on time. So the insurer's decision to reject a claim should be based on sound logic and valid grounds. It may be noted that such breach of policy conditions does not work in isolation and is not absolute. One needs to see the merits and good spirit of the clause without compromising on bad claims, because rejection of claims on purely technical grounds in a mechanical fashion will result in policyholders losing confidence in the insurance industry, giving rise to excessive litigation. Some insurers are continuously rejecting claims mechanically based on the delay even after IRDA's circular. So there is an initiative from IRDA to monitor the grounds reality of the mechanical claim rejection. There is no warning or penalty for insurance companies to reject claims mechanically on grounds of the late filing. So insurers usually impose certain conditions on insurance contracts to ensure that no high-risk feature would be introduced without their knowledge. And dealing with disputes arising from a breach of policy condition on the part of the insured, insurers should rely significantly on whether or not the circumstances of loss are in any way concerned with or related to the breach. So, there are the guidelines for settlement of non-standard claims, and these guidelines are followed by the insurers. The guidelines formulated for non-standard claim do not direct or instruct the insurance company to pay the entire claim, whereas instructed to pay some percentage in the admissible claim for not paying that amount, since repudiation had taken place on the basis of the conditions in the policy that cannot be termed in the strict sense deficiency of service. So the National Commission referred to the guidelines for settlement of non-standard claims, and the formula for the same was decided that where a breach of warranty or policy condition arises and where such breach is of technical nature or is evidently beyond the control or knowledge of the insured or is considered after rectifying the policy and collecting additional premium where due, then settling the claim, a deduction may be made from the assessed claim amount equivalent to the extra premium due for 3 years or 3 times the additional premium due for boys, which would have been charged had correct information been available originally. Where the breach is material to the loss or where an act of the insured or his agent has contributed to such a breach. In such cases, if the insured has acted with the best of intentions and has not consciously committed the breach, or where the legal questions of liability is in doubt, payment may be considered on merits of each case up to a maximum of 75% of the assessed amount of loss. So where the breach is material to the loss and the amount determined to be payable up to the maximum of 75% of the assessed amount of loss is found to be higher, then what would be payable, and had the claim been dealt with as one where breach is of a technical nature, the compromise settlement should be made only for the lower premium. So as far as the procedure is concerned, the additional premium for the unexpected period of the risk for rectifying the breach should be collected separately on pro rata basis and credited to premium account. The amount or B, the amount equivalent to 3 years difference in premium of 3 times the additional premium due to the voice or 25% of the assessed loss as per the guidelines be deducted from the claim amount as assessed by the surveyor, and the net amount of the claim paid to the claimant be debited to the claim paid accounts. So these guidelines can be explained like this. If under declaration of licensed carrying capacity is there, in that case deduct 3 years difference in premium from the amount of claim or deduct 25% of the claim amount, whichever is higher. Second, if overloading of vehicles beyond licensing capacity is there, then pay claims not exceeding 75% of admissible claim amount. And any other breach of warranty or condition of policy, including limitations as to use, pay up to 75% of the admissible claims. So application of guidelines were forced in the Amalendu Sayu versus Oriental Insurance Company Limited by Supreme Court, and in National Insurance Company Limited versus Nitin Khandelwal again in 2008 by Supreme Court. So these judgments make it very clear regarding the applicability and enforcement of these cases. Where the nature of breach of policy condition is important, it can be seen because the effect of the breach of a condition in an insurance policy depends upon whether that condition is or is not a condition precedent to the insurer's liability. The breach of a condition precedent deprives the assured of his right to press his claim. As such, a condition sets out the procedural requirement for the making of a claim which, if not fulfilled, operate to bar the claim. So by contrast, if the term is not a condition precedent to the insurer's liability, the insurer's remedy for breach of condition is either termination of the entire policy from the date of breach or damage. The former is available only where the assured's breach goes to the heart of the contract, and the latter is available only where the insurers can prove loss. So what is clear from this is that a breach of an arbitrary or ordinary condition is most unlikely to give the insurer any remedy at all, whereas breach of a condition precedent gives an absolute right to refuse to pay. Not surprisingly, therefore, the attitude of the courts to the construction of conditions precedent is cautious in the extreme. So, in a policy document which is a contract of carriage between the parties, one must, in the first instance, look at the whole instrument and not at one part of it only. Looking at the whole instrument and seeing what one must regard as its main purpose. So one must reject words, indeed whole provisions, if they are inconsistent with what one assumes to be the main purpose of the contract. For breach of warranty or conditions which do not involve any saving in premium or any additional exposure to the insurer, such claims be considered as a standard claim. For example, route permit claim settlement is one of the most important aspects of the functioning of an insurance company. So out of any insurance contract, the customer has the expectations like adequate insurance coverage with right pricing, timely delivery of defect-free policy, documents with the relevant endorsements, warranties, conditions and guidelines. Should a claim happen, quick settlement to his satisfaction. Because the IRDA guidelines requires that general insurance claim should be settled in 30 days of the filing of the claim by the insured person. The regulatory authority has taken the serious note of the company's violations of regulations in the manner. So the insurance business operates on the principle of indemnity, that is putting the customer in same financial position which he was occupying immediately before the loss. As there is a tendency on the part of the customer to benefit out of an insurance transaction, the surveyor puts a check on that and assesses the loss. So he then gives a report to the insurance company, and based on the survey reports, the company will settle the claim. So surveyors are the major part of the insurance business, but in today's scenario, it is seen that the insurance company tries to ignore the report submitted by one surveyor and keep on appointing surveyor one after another unless they get favorable reports. In many cases, it has been observed by the Honorable Court that the insured getting harassed from the professional attitude of the insurance companies. This amounted to unfair trade practices on the part of the insurance company that affect not only to the complainant but also to public in whole or public in general. So IRDA is reinforcing the philosophy that the contract has to be honored in a spirit. Even now, many companies refrain from rejecting claim on technical grounds. Even the ones that do have to face litigation, and usually the courts rule in favor of the claimants. So such cases can be prevented now that insurers have been asked to incorporate the clause. So as far as the settlement of claim is concerned, normally insurance companies should settle the claim timely. If at all there is any reason or any breach of warranty or breach of condition is there, claim should not be rejected in toto, but can be considered on the substandard or non-standard basis. Thank you very much.